Welcome, Mike, to the Thursday, June 26, 2025 Airport Commission meeting. And if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, well, it says here on the agenda to introduce Robert Bob McGregor, but I don't think he needs to be introduced. I think everybody knows him, but I would definitely like to welcome you back. Thank you. For,
I like that new
yeah. Okay, no public notices. Michelle, roll call.
Chairperson Osonio,
Aye.
Commissioner Bennett,
Present.
Commissioner Bigham,
Present.
Commissioner McGregor,
Present.
Commissioner Seguel,
Present.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Present.
Commissioner Contreras did advise he would be absent.
Okay. No public comments? General public comments? Okay, consent agenda. We have the minutes from the May 22nd meeting. We have the operations report, and we have the fuel flowage report. Does anybody want any of those three items pulled for further discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve as presented. If somebody can make that motion.
I'm making a motion.
Thank you, Jonathan. Okay. Made by Commissioner Segal and seconded by Commissioner Shoemaker. Considerations. Matt, you are up. Administration reports.
For considerations. There are no considerations, but we can probably move on to the administrative report. Commissioner McGregor, it's good to see you again, back on duty here. That's great. All right, good afternoon. I'd like to first discuss the AEIS, the Airport Impact Economic Study. And this is a four-way study with Watsonville, Hollister, Marina, and Salinas. And the last report was done about 5 years ago, by Brett Godin, my predecessor. And when I was the airport manager in Marina, Brett had reached out to us, other airports, to see if there'd be interest in doing a collaborative impact study. And so we all agreed to do that. And that just shows you how long it takes to get all the ducks in a row with airports. So we are now finally, everything's approved, signed, sealed, and delivered. So these facts, these frequently asked questions, will be going out to tenants on the field, key stakeholders, people of interest that are associated with the airport. And this is just one of many, many things that will be asked to provide us good data for what the airport provides in terms of jobs, revenues, indirect revenues, sales, and the like. So stay tuned for more. It's probably going to be about at least 6 months before it's published, but it's going to be really interesting to see a four-way impact study for an economic study. So,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So not that I have any issues with it, but just out of curiosity, why work with all the different airports to ask the same questions?
Yeah, that is a good question. The understanding, and Brett and Rayvon is the airport manager in Hollister, there was the last study, well, things are more expensive now, and so by having having a joint study would save on some redundancies. Travel time, flight time, studies, drawing the data from the airports that might be common in all airports, right? And so we were able to save money, but also with that data, every airport is different. And so it's going to help us learn how we can further collaborate as a standalone airport and also working in tandem with other airports. Marina is far different from us. We have a controlled tower. We're one of the only controlled towers in the 4 airport system. We're the largest airport in terms of acreage. We have an air show, but Hollister's got Amazon. Watsonville has more activity with flight operations. So it's going to arm us, I think, internally as airport managers as to how we can further leverage our airports. So, and that's great because we have a really good relationship with all of the airports. We really don't compete amongst each other unless it's with Archer Aviation or Joby. Other than that, though, we all try to row in the same direction.
So you mentioned something, I'm going to ask another question, I apologize. Amazon. So with the build out of Amazon here in Salinas, are you, without giving anything away that you shouldn't, I guess, are you anticipating or thinking that there might be more of a connection with Amazon at the Salinas Airport?
What I can tell you is that we have reached out to Amazon on multiple occasions, expressed an interest in working with Amazon, and as calls and emails have not been returned. There are some, I can tell you that there are, I mean, obviously we're interested at the airport to collaborate with Amazon, but to date, we've not received any information back from them.
Okay.
So I could put out an APB and say we're very interested in doing something with Amazon.
Yeah, I was just wondering based upon the building they're making. Interesting, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's quite a big facility there. I don't know if you've driven by it, but it's amazingly large there, so, yeah. And hopefully it'll improve the roads down there too with the build out. Any other questions about this impact study? All right. All right, sure. Okay. This is an update on the terminal rehabilitation project on the front of the airport and the back side of the airport with Jonathan's Flying Artichoke Restaurant. And so this is kind of the build out as to what we envisioned. I showed this to you last month. Maybe to get Commissioner McGregor up to speed. So I'm not sure, Bob, if you've been out there to the airport recently, but we decided to throw some money at improving the conditions out there on the patio where you eat lunch and breakfast. And so that is our take as to what we want it to look like. It's going to be very similar to that in that we have those sails or those shades for the sun, and then the lights, trees. The one thing we've decided not to do at this point is to put down AstroTurf. The AstroTurf was quoted at about $5,500, so we're going to hold off on that for now. We can add it at a certain point, but we just kind of want to watch the budget a little bit there. So Bouquet Nursery did an outstanding job with their folks in recommending plants that are appropriate for the area versus areas of sun, shade, wind, and so forth. We want it to be a destination area for the restaurant, and I think Jonathan can, not to put you on the spot, but I think it looks a lot better
That's what we want.
than how it used to. So, and I think we're definitely going to collaborate, and we're going to put together some type of soft opening, hopefully with the Chamber of Commerce, maybe do some type of soft opening or event that'll.
When you finish, we'll do
Yep.
it.
And we're looking to be finished on or around the 15th of July, so we're getting really close.
Yeah, you could do like a grand reopening or,
Thank you, that's what we want to
Yep.
do. You can do some
and you don't have,
something.
yeah. And you could just do that without being a member of the chamber. If you want to do a chamber mixer, you'd have to be a member of the chamber.
We are a member.
Okay, yeah, then, yeah.
We can do that. I think they reach out to me.
Probably.
Yeah, the mixers are good.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
So these pictures really don't do it justice with my iPhone, but as you, on the top left, that is new foliage and plants as you go into the outside portion of the restaurant. And then on the middle picture there, you can see the trees, and that obviously will be covered with those awnings with lights. It'll really look nice. It'll all blend together nicely there. We also did successfully move CalStar about 125 feet, I don't know, about 100 feet to the east, just to eliminate or reduce the rotor wash. And so the lack of rotor wash will allow the umbrellas, will prevent the umbrellas from leaning over and messing up the ladies' hair. If you look at the front of the terminal, we have that beautiful rock there. This rock was donated by Jay Jefferson from his ranch, and this thing was so heavy that it probably what we estimate it to be about 6,000 pounds. Good Lord. Really, really heavy. But that front end looks really nice, thanks to Jay Jefferson there. Fencing project, this is on Skyway Boulevard. That fencing is kind of, it's bothered me for a long time, and it just looks bad. And so we're working with the golf course company, Sierra Management Golf, and we are replacing the fencing there. Top left shows you just an example of how bad it was and what poor shape it is in. The top right picture is the new fencing there.
Is that just dirt, excuse me, but is that just dirt between the fencing, it looks like the street and
Yep,
the lower center one?
that's correct, yep, that's all dirt.
What about a chance to get some landscaping or something in there?
City property, yeah. Yep.
We are the city.
We are the city, yes. Yep.
Also.
Oh, by the way, this is off, I forgot to add this too. We actually, for some reason, got a grant. The city received a grant for trees to plant, and the city asked if we could take free trees, have them planted, they would water them, and they pointed out the RPZ, the runway protection zone of runway 26. And it's not a compatible area, but I thought, well, that's not going to work, but what about the golf course? So the golf course is going to be getting free trees from the city from this grant. And so I'm not sure how many trees they would like to get, but it's going to be free trees for the airport.
Is the airport financially responsible for the fence along the golf course, or is that the city?
That is a gray area. I think it really isn't specified anywhere. I don't think a fence is required in the first place. That's what I've learned. So it's a gray area as to who's responsible for that fence. We need a fence. The airport agrees we need a fence. The folks at the golf course agree that we need a fence. We decided to do a cost sharing on this. And so at the end of the day, it's about $9,000 for the new fencing.
Total.
Divided by 2.
Okay.
So $4,500 to get something that's needed for a long time.
Question, would that be the management of the golf course or the city?
Who pays for it?
Yes.
The agreement is the golf course pays for half of it, and then the airport pays for the other half.
Okay.
Yep. So the city is really the airport. The city will say, no, you pay for it, the airport. Yep.
The fence in the upper left-hand corner looks like it's about 4 feet tall. Is that an optical illusion?
Nope, that is absolutely correct. That's about 4 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
Yep, but again, that's not the airport boundary, though.
That's the golf course boundary.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep. And by the way, on the mid to short-term goal for mine is to start to improve the fencing around the area of the airport perimeter because it's rather porous. All right, roofing project on our large hangar here from World War II. This hangar's in really good shape. It's probably, well, you see the old pictures from 1941 or 42. You can see that main hangar during World War II. It is still holding up, doing well. We needed it. We spent about $85,000 plus to have the top. Again, we couldn't fly the drone today, but that top is a brand new epoxy coating warranted for 20 years. And it's going to really keep that hangar in pristine condition. So that project took about 2 weeks there, but it looks really good. It's one of those things where they power wash it and they spray with the white, and then you notice it's like when you do a remodel in your house, and then you realize, oh my gosh, the outside of it looks like it needs some work with the siding. So we're going to reskin this one, the outside eventually. It's only money. And then we've got a crew, the Social Vocational Services. It really is a good organization. It's a group of mentally handicapped young adults that help us at the airport. And they work 3 days a week, 9 to 12. And it's been, in terms of the positivity, that it's a two-way street. They love coming to work, and they do things like washing cars, picking up trash, doing dusting, things like that, inside the terminal, outside the terminal. It provides them a sense of, and they get paid $16 an hour through their organization. It really is a nice way to give back. So we've had this crew of 3 for the last 6 months. We're going to take a break for the next few months and then re-engage them again because it went so well with this group here. And they're really good people. In fact, about 2 weeks ago, we hosted a barbecue, hot dogs and hamburgers that they came on one of their days off to celebrate with us. So, Social Vocational Services. They do also, they have an office in Santa Cruz, one in Salinas, And they do have contracts in Marina, I believe, the city of Marina, and Monterey. So, we are postponing this event. It is going to be a car show. This car show, they couldn't get, due to certain things with their internal organization, they weren't able to commit, and they backed out. So we're going to keep that date open in case anything else happens, but I don't think anything's going to happen. This is very similar to the La Banda, the music bands that come in, and they're here for a couple days. It's a good way for the community to get inside the fence, and also the staff gets overtime if they want, and we also make a $4,000 or $5,000 at the end of the day. So, and that, I believe, is the next thing of the next meeting, July 24th. I'll entertain any questions or comments.
Any questions or comments from anybody? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any future agenda items? Anybody? Okay, the next meeting date is up on the screen, July 24th, 2025, roughly a month from today. And with that, unless there's any other comments or questions, the meeting is adjourned at like 6:31 and a half. I can't.